Hey everyone, Kelly here with today's hip tips. And today on episode 5, we are going to talk about wearing gloves. Who here has worn gloves before or wears gloves when they go out or has to wear them for work? Comment below and let me know. I would love to hear all the different ways that we wear gloves and reasons why we wear them. For today, though, we're going to talk about wearing gloves because of protection. And that's really the whole reason why we wear gloves anyways, to protect ourselves and to protect others, especially right now. With all the germs going around and the really frightening thought of getting sick by just touching something, we have to wear gloves. And as uncomfortable as they can be, it's for our safety right now. And if you don't know anything about gloves, there's a bunch of different sizes, a bunch of different colors, and they're all meant to do something different. First of all, there's clear gloves used for food, cooking food, or basically passing out food to people, serving food. And there's blue gloves that are also used in the food industry, and those are for mostly food prep, cutting up fruits and vegetables, preparing meat. And those are to protect our hands from getting dirty, but also protecting the food from getting our germs that's on our hands already, right? Then there are white and yellow gloves and sometimes blue gloves used for cleaning your house. So protecting your hands from chemicals and also the germs that you're cleaning. If you're cleaning your bathtub, you might put on those long yellow gloves that protect your arms up to your elbows. And when we're using those are a little bit thicker and they basically serve as a barrier, like I said, to protect you from the chemicals that you're using. And then there are black gloves. And black gloves are used for people who are builders. So maybe they're mechanics, they're working on cars, or maybe they're dealing with glue that's really, really strong or mixing chemicals. And they can also be used for just heavy cleaning. There's also, if you think about it, there's also gloves that scientists wear that are heat protective. So there's a ton of different gloves, and I can go on and on. But like I said, I would like to know below what kind of gloves you have had to wear in the past. Another one is mittens, right? When it's cold outside, and although we haven't had any snow and it hasn't been that cold, we wear mittens to keep our hands from getting too cold and to keep them warm. But even though we wear these gloves, we really have to think of the process that goes behind it, because taking off gloves or putting them on can make a big difference. So I'm going to do a quick example with these black gloves so that you can see. And I am going to use some flour to show you what the importance of it is. So if I touch flour, I'm getting it all over my hands. See? So let's pretend like those are germs. I'm touching something and I've got germs on my hands, and then I'm touching my face and oh my gosh, look at that. I've got germs on my face. Oh my gosh, I have to itch my nose. Oh man, hi. Oh, it's great to meet you. Next thing you know, we're spreading all those germs, right? So now that I have flour all over my face, it kind of gives you a little bit of a demonstration of that spread. And not only that, but if I'm handling food and I go give you food and I don't have anything protecting my hands, look what might be all over the sandwich or the hamburger that you're serving. So today, I'm going to show you how to put on gloves properly. So when you're working in the medical field, this is a really, really important step, because touching anything on the outside is contaminating that glove. So we're really going to work on washing our hands as many times as we can. But if you're going to wear gloves, washing your hands and then going to get the gloves. Because it's not just important for the medical field, it's also important when working with food and right now going out to the grocery store. So wash your hands first and foremost. Make sure your hands are dry, because once you put your hand in the glove, if your hands are wet, they're not going to slip on. And gloves tend to rip if they're too small for you, and if they're too big, it'll just slide off. So we want to make sure, one, that our hands are nice and clean and dry, and we also want to make sure that they're the right size. I'm using extra large gloves because I have I have big hands. And it'll stay at the corner of your box, if you have a box. So when I pick up my glove, let's pretend like I didn't wash my hands. And I am going to pick up my glove. Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna put these on and go to the store. Okay, so right off the bat, our gloves are dirty. And if I put my gloves on while they're dirty, they're gonna get all over my face. My germs are gonna still get on my face and I'm not protected. So I am going to wash my hands, put on my gloves, and I'm only gonna try to touch the rim of the glove. And that's just this little edge. Slip it on as much as I can without touching all of the fingers. All right, so I'm working, maybe I'm preparing a sandwich, maybe I just went to the grocery store, grabbed a few things, and now I'm going home. I want to itch my face, but I shouldn't be touching my face with my gloves. So I'm going to use my shoulder, maybe I'll use the back of my hand, but I never want to touch my face with this part of my gloves, front or back, because whatever we touch next, all those germs are getting on. And again, we're not only protecting ourselves, but we're protecting other people too. So all those germs. Now, I don't want to just take off my gloves. Oh man, these are so hot. Because when I do that, I'm taking all those gloves and putting them on my clean hand that I washed, right? So what I'm going to do is I am going to, for an example, I'm going to put this glove back on. And side note, we don't want to put gloves on more than one time unless we wash them, which you can use soap and water and wash them off and let them dry out and then wear them again. But once I take my gloves off, when I'm ready, I'm going to take the corner like this, try not to touch my wrist, and I'll pull my hand out like this. Clean hand, inside out glove. With my other hand, I'm going to slip my fingers underneath the edge and pull them off as best as I can without trying to touch. So again, I'm going to show you over time. I'm going to take my glove off like this without touching, flip it inside out, just pull your hand out, and then once you flip the glove inside out, you can touch it. See? No germs on that side because you washed your hands. Then you can either lay your hand down like this, or if you want to go upwards, if you have like dry ingredients, like if you're making cooking or something and you have, say, flour on your fingers, you can always put your hand down, because if you put it up, all that stuff might fall on your arm, especially if your hands are wet. So I'm going to put it down and I'm going to push my finger through to make that inside out. And then again, I can pull it out just like this. I'm not touching the dirty surface and my gloves are inside out, and all the germs and liquid or chemicals, if I was cleaning, are all inside my glove and my hands are now protected. No matter what though, we should always wash our hands after we take off our gloves. I know. Why would you do that, Kelly? Well, because we might end up touching some of the dirty surface on our gloves, or maybe we accidentally touched our face, or maybe for some reason we were around and somebody touched our glove and their germs are on our glove. We just want to make sure that our hands are still clean after we take those gloves off. And sometimes gloves are made out of latex, which is a powdery substance that helps you get those gloves on. And that can get itchy if you wear the gloves for too long, or I think it stinks a little bit, so I like to wash my hands anyways. So just remember, wash your hands before. When you're taking your gloves off, take them off inside out, and then throw those gloves away if they're dirty. If these are gloves that you're wearing just to go to the grocery store, and they're cloth gloves, I would say go ahead and wash those when you come back home. If you are wearing those cleaning gloves, just flip them inside out, and I typically just put them in the dishwasher and let them get cleaned. If you have any questions or have any better suggestions on how to glove and deglove, let me know. Don't forget to stay tuned for Jessie and Olivia's helpful hints coming up next at 11.